Hey guys, Libby News here. So today I'll be doing another Danganronpa V3 theory video because it seemed like a good bit of you guys enjoyed the last one. And I personally have a ton of fun making these videos. They get me really hyped for the game. Just a quick reminder for this video, if you are new to the channel, I'm trying to keep this whole channel and all the comment section spoiler free, so please do not post spoiler comments in the comment section below. It will be removed, and depending on how severe the spoiler is, you could get just completely blocked from the channel. Also, the video itself will be completely spoiler free with the exception of the character's talents and anything revealed in the trailers or the Famitsu. I do talk about like a fan favorite poll in Japan that happened kind of recently. I'm not sure if anybody considers that a spoiler. I know some people are a lot more sensitive to spoilers than others, so I just figured I'd put that out there. But like I said, I'm only using stuff from the trailers and the Famitsus to make these theories. Mostly I've gone on like Tumblr archives to find these, and all the theories are from around November or December. And anything that wasn't found from there was found from the comment section of my last video. Also, I know some people ran into problems with spoilers showing up on the related videos. Thankfully I didn't see it because I can just check the comments from like a community setting on my YouTube page. But just a warning for you guys, please be careful when looking at the related videos because YouTube likes to recommend spoiler videos a lot. But anyways, without further ado, let's go ahead and get on into the video. So the first theory I'm going to cover is about Kaede because a lot of you seem to think that she's either a red herring or that she'll die in the first trial or at some point in the game at least. I heard from Ku that this was a pretty popular theory while I was on hiatus, and I noticed looking through some Tumblr archives from December and November that it really did seem like this was pretty popular. And this was actually why I had been trying so hard for the last video to go through the trailers to see if there appeared to be like any evidence of them implying her death, but the only thing I saw that remotely implied it was that roulette saying she was guilty. And as I mentioned in that video, that theory kind of felt like it had a dead end, but I saw some comments from the last video that I felt like brought up some good points about this theory. So the main comment for this section that I'm going to feature is by the ultimate detective himself, and basically they say that they believe that Kaede will die because firstly the Danganronpa series hasn't used the main character dying trope yet, and they think it's possible that she could have killed somebody without realizing it, or she could have killed somebody through a justifiable reason such as self-defense. After that, they think that Kiba will become the new protagonist since he has an ahoge, and there's a screenshot of him taking the place of where Kaede's face was. I do feel like they bring up some good points, like the fact that we haven't had a main character dying trope yet, and the main reason I think this theory is pretty valid is because we know that Spike Chunsoft asked that no one post anything relating to the game walkthroughs or otherwise. That takes place after chapter 1. They also disabled the PS share button from chapter 2 onwards as well. So this implies to me that there would have to be a huge plot twist after the first trial or at the beginning of the second chapter. One that could be very easily spoiled by just posting the most generic of screenshots. And to me this theory makes sense because if we're going with the twist being in the first chapter rather than the beginning of the second, if she did die it would be a ridiculously easy thing to spoil others just by showing a screenshot or gameplay from the game. I'm really hesitant to believe this theory though because like I said, I really looked through those trailers and I just could not find any solid evidence or foreshadowing for this to happen. Also pretty recently on Tumblr I saw that Japan had a poll for everybody to vote who their favorite character was after the game's release, and Kaede ranked as number 3 out of all the characters, and to me it's kind of hard to believe that she would have ranked that high if she was just a red herring. So overall I think this theory is really interesting, but if she is gonna die in the game, I do kind of feel like it'll be more towards the end of the game, but that's just my own personal opinion on it. I don't really have any solid evidence or backing for that idea either. I do agree that the main character dying is a trope that Danganronpa hasn't used yet, and her being a fake protagonist would sort of tie in with how badly Spike was trolling us with that first trailer, trying to make it appear as if Kiba was the protagonist. So to make it look like he's the protagonist, announce it's Kaede, and then kill her off to make him the protagonist again does seem like a super trolly Danganronpa thing to do. But like I said, I am kind of hesitant to believe this theory right now. I do think it's pretty interesting though. Next, I'd like to talk about some theories relating to Saihara, since I've seen quite a few of these and I haven't included them in a video yet. There was a comment on my last video that said something similar to another theory I'd seen online, so it seems like most people, including myself, were immediately trusting of Saihara's character since he shares a talent with another character that was very trustworthy in a previous game. But just because they share a talent doesn't mean they share the same personality or morals. So just like the comments shown, I found a very interesting theory I saw on Tumblr by hopefullydani saying that Saihara could actually be a corrupt detective and a warped version of Kirigiri, similarly to how Komaeda was a warped version of the lucky student being Naegi. At first I was really hesitant about this theory, but they bring up a lot of really good points. A large part of the theory is him not only being a warped version of Kirigiri, but of Chiaki as well. So a pattern with both of these characters, other than being the main person to encourage the main character, is that they both had affiliations with a powerful organization. Kirigiri being related to the headmaster of Hope's Peak Academy, and Chiaki being an AI created by the Future Foundation. So this implies that if Saihara is meant to parallel them, he could in fact be related to the Gifted Juveniles Academy that they're trapped inside of. They also mentioned that his name could be a code that implies his relation to the school as well, since Gifted Inmates is pronounced as Saishu and his name is Saihara Shuichi. The first three letters combined literally come together as Saishu. The last thing they point out regarding this theory is that the star on his hat is very similar to the star on Monotaro's scarf, implying that there could be a connection point between him and Monotaro, just as there was a connection between Chiaki and Manami. So like I said before, I was really hesitant with this theory because Saihara really seems like a sweet character from the trailers. There's some shots of him encouraging Kaede, and in other parts of the trailer when you see Oma accuse him of being the culprit, he looks really distraught from this accusation, so he kind of came off as being a sensitive and timid character to me, like a more toned down version of Kibo. But the more I think about it, the more this theory makes sense. So hypothetically speaking, I could have been wrong thinking that we need a lucky student every game, but instead that we need a warped version of a talent previously seen in each sequel. Therefore, if Saihara was a warped version of Kirigiri, it wouldn't break consistency even if there is no lucky student. And him being related to the prison school does make the most sense to me since he is a detective, a police affiliated talent, and they've already introduced his uncle as a detective as well, so it would make sense for his uncle to be an employee or even a leader at the school. If this is the case and Saihara does secretly have bad intentions for the group, then I don't think it'll get revealed until the end of the game as a twist, and that he'll come off as the best boy type of character that we've seen him to be in the trailers until then. I have a bit of an idea of how I think it'll go down as well. So something else I saw pointed out online with the game's pattern wise is what the students know about themselves and the situation at the beginning of the game versus what they learn at the end. So I've been trying to figure out a pattern with these, and this is the best I can come up with. So in Danganronpa 1 we know who they are, ultimates, but the big twist is what happened, lost memories. Then in Super Danganronpa 2 we know what happened, lost memories, but we don't know who they are, ultimate despairs. So they just switched around the content of the plot twist. And in this game, going off of the idea that they were enrolled in this academy before being put in the killing game, then we would know who they are, juveniles, but we don't know blank. So if there is a pattern here, then I assume we could guess that once again the new twist would be the what rather than the who, since we already know who they are, being juveniles. So I think the what this time could possibly be what they did to be classified as juveniles and why they were originally enrolled in this academy. So to me, it was sort of implied in the first V3 trailer that we got that the world may have fallen into despair once again, even after we got the most lull hope ending possible in Danganronpa 3. So my theory regarding this is that it will be like a reverse of the Super Danganronpa 2 twist, where this time we start the game thinking that they're juveniles, but really they're not. So basically the world has fallen into despair, and these ultimates were trying to fight against it, and were considered juveniles because of this. But of course, if their memories are erased, then Monokuma will try to convince them that they were enrolled here for different, more criminal reasons. And if we go back to the Saihara theory mentioned, it definitely makes it look as if he's either the mastermind or a traitor in this case, since if he was related to this academy, Amami like the theory mentioned before, and assuming they locked up these students for fighting against despair, it would definitely make him look bad if he was related to it somehow. Overall, I'm hopeful that Saihara is a good character since, as some of you guys pointed out, Oma, Korekio, and Amami are all already so sketchy and Komaeda-like. It'd be nice to have like a legitimate best boy who's not actually a mastermind or secretly having bad intentions for the group. So I'm hopeful, but after reading all of this, I'm definitely a bit more suspicious of him now. And lastly, in this video, I do have some theories regarding Amami. So a couple of you guys theorized that it's possible that he was involved in another killing game before, and that may be the reason why he appears to be so calm, and I think it's definitely an interesting idea, and it's one I really hadn't thought of before. Like I said, it seems like the world has once again fallen into despair based off of that first trailer we saw for V3, and even after the lull hope ending we got in Danganronpa 3. And we know in Danganronpa 3 that Kyosuke wanted to set up Hope Speak Academy overseas, and we also see that Nagi decided to open up Hope Speak Academy after everything returned to sort of a hopeful state as well. And I think based off of this, some of us could theorize that maybe Nagi wants to open up several schools as a way to honor Mudokata's dream. So going off of this, if the world has just totally fallen into despair as it appears, like I said in the first trailer, then I think there's a possibility there could have been several killing games across the world in these schools that Nagi set up, and Amami could have survived through one of those and somehow ended up in this one as well. I think one possibility to explain this is that he could enjoy despair. So I have like this small theory that Amami is in fact the lucky student like Nagi and Komaeda, but his luck is different than theirs. So although both Nagi and Komaeda had very good luck at times, we also see that they had pretty bad luck at times as well, and that the good and the bad sort of evens each other out. Of course, we know that Komaeda's follows a strict cycle, and in Danganronpa 3, Junko states that Nagi is much less predictable. So far we haven't gotten a straight just lucky student, one that just has good luck. So maybe Amami is the ultimate lucky student in every sense of the word, and sort of parallels the ultimate analyst talent in a way. So hypothetically, he's just born good looking, he's born into a rich family, gets everything he wants, and even when the world fell into despair, he still had everything just fall perfectly into place for him because he's just that lucky. So similarly to having the analytical talent, he grew bored of getting everything he wanted all the time. Because like the old saying goes, without the bad times, you can't really appreciate the good. So I believe he could become so desperate to feel despair that he put himself in the most despair-inducing situation more than once just to try to feel that sense of humanity within himself. If this is the case, I imagine him to be a cross between Komaeda and Junko. Junko in the way that he would love to feel despair that could knock him off of this godlike pedestal, and Komaeda in the way that he could rely on his luck for everything. And if he really does have this majorly overpowered luck, it could explain why he appears so unworried and laid back all the time. And this isn't necessarily like a mastermind theory, but I do think it could also work as one, assuming he set up the killing game and wanted to be a participant to finally feel that despair. One of you guys mentioned that one of the problems with this theory is that even if he did win a previous killing game, his memory probably would have been wiped along with all the other students, assuming that their memories are going to get taken away again. But in this comment they mentioned that if he was in a previous killing game and was a survivor, then maybe he gets privileges for winning, and getting to keep his memories for this killing game is one of them. And I think that's an interesting idea. I think the idea of there just being several different killing games in all of these schools that Nagi may have set up is a really crazy idea in general. Honestly, it's something I never would have thought of until I started reading the comments on my last video, but I think it's a really cool idea, so I'm happy you guys brought that up. But anyways, this will conclude the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you all so much for all the comments on the last video. There was a lot of them. I feel bad that I wasn't really able to feature more, but if you guys did enjoy this, I'll try to make at least like maybe 1 or 2 more of these before the game comes out. I don't really know if I can do much more than 2 more just because I'm running out of theories. Maybe I'll get like a big spark of inspiration or something later and I'll be able to do another one besides just maybe 2 more, but I'll let you guys know. Feel free to let me know what you think about these theories, and feel free to leave comments of your own theories and I'll look through and feature some more in my next video. But anyways, I hope you guys did enjoy the video and I will see you real soon.
Subscribe to Weeby News for more hope-filled videos.